सरसरे तौर पे I can't do anything कि हाँ चलो यार टाइम पास है ठीक है 30 दिन निकाल लेंगे कैसे भी हो जाएगा. Sometimes you're just not spoiled for choice because people can't imagine you in different things. There is a lot in me that I want to explore as an artist, as an actor, that is absolutely untapped. Section 84 I'm working on right now. We're currently shooting that with Mr. Bachchan, so that's a bucket list thing.
For all film-related interviews, reviews, and content, please like and subscribe to Puja Talwar. You can also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram.
Hi Nimrat, lovely to see you.
Lovely to be here.
एक बात, आप और स्कूल का क्या कनेक्शन है? पहले 10वीं पास करने चली गई, अब काउंसलर बन गई हो स्कूल में,
और अभी हैप्पी टीचर्स डे भी करी है लास्ट ईयर.
with you and schools.
I don't know. The universe is conspiring and something is brewing. बहुत मजा आ रहा है पूजा. It's been really interesting. All such different subjects and I don't think मैंने कोई aspect छोड़ा है अभी स्कूल का to explore. You know, unless I play a student who's just been failing over the years and has remained in school.
Really? मुझे एक बात बताओ, स्कूल में कितने झूठ बोले थे और were you the like good student?
नहीं मैं बहुत बहुत गप्पे मारती थी बहुत बार, you know, bunking and all kinds of, you know, stupid lies that, you know, I really didn't need to tell actually. But I was a mischievous kid. I was not a straight forward good kid, good girl. No, I was quite mischievous and मैंने काफी गड़बड़ें करी हैं स्कूल में.
So that means आपने बहुत चित्तड़ पड़े हैं आपको वैसे स्कूल में.
हाँ. नहीं तो उसके बिना तो पता नहीं क्या ही होता.
Oh my God, that's interesting. But you know, I like the premise of the show because it's something so topical and it is so relevant. You have no clue the horror stories we hear about what happens in school, whether it's in the US or whether it's in India. Bullying, violence, and then of course young kids, the kind of trauma and pressure they're going under.
Absolutely.
What was the reason for you to actually come on board? I mean, we'll discuss your choice of filmography later, but as an actor, as a performer, and as a human, what made you say, like, I really want to take this on?
Well, great question, Puja. The thing is, well, firstly, you know, my sister was a student psychologist, student counselor. So I've seen her very closely and the kind of issues she used to deal with kids and, you know, how it used to actually take a toll on her because it wasn't easy for her to process what the kids were going through. And these are urban kids living such complex lives at such young ages. She couldn't fathom, you know, that kids have such complexities within them and they don't know how to handle it. And then the way that it expresses and the way it manifests around them, it was really heartbreaking to hear some of the accounts, you know, from her. Of course, with the anonymity, you know, of never revealing about who she was talking or anything, but just she used to really be very, very affected by it all. So I've seen it really up close. For me to take up this part, the number one reason was actually Avinash Arun, and you know, I wanted very much to work with him for a very long time. I've been a huge fan of, you know, Killa, and you know, I love the way he looks at the world and I love his eye and aesthetic and there's something so profoundly poetic about his gaze. So I was very curious that why is he doing this? You know, what is he doing next after Patal Lok? And then when the subject came about, I found it honestly to be non-negotiable in my mind to, you know, to want to do it. As an actor, sometimes you have to come to a place where, you know, you sort of feel compelled to do something because it's important that you become a part of a story. It has to be told. The discovery of certain inconvenient truths and certain uncomfortable conversations and, you know, things that we often brush aside as adults, you know, God forbid it opens a can of worms, you know. God forbid, we are all trained to keep quiet from a very young age, no matter what happens, whether we go through bullying, molestation, domestic violence, abuse, to be unfair in any other way, discrimination, all kinds of things happen, you know. And at a young age, you can't even process some of it. You feel like it's your fault. And, you know, like somewhere I read that your childhood is the umbrella you carry, and the sun falls on it, and the light that you have as an adult is the color of your childhood. So it's so important to process what you go through as a child, because that pretty much decides your decision making and your relationships with other adults in your life, your choice of partners, work people. Sometimes you continue to live the trap that you fell in as a
I
child.
agree with that.
I mean, if you went through abuse, you might grow up as an abuser, not realizing that you are exactly what you hated, because you can't break that cycle. And so, I mean, I can go on and on. The show addresses such important conversations, Puja, that as an adult, I felt like it is a responsibility for us to wake up to certain things, and as a society to make it normal to speak about issues which are uncomfortable, and to address them not just in like a surface way, or just to kind of give it a tag, or just to make a label out of it, but to really go to the root of it and see what is it that we can do better as adults for each other, and even for the kids who are going to be adults at some point.
Awesome. No, I'm just so glad that this needed to be told and highlighted, because I really personally can't, I really feel this needs to be highlighted, because I
Yeah.
just not doing too much, because I do have young kids around me also, there are friends,
Yeah.
family. It's terrible sometimes I'm just appalled hearing what kids can do to
Yeah.
others.
Of course, absolutely.
And then they go up to be adults, and these adults then do terrible things to other adults,
Exactly. It's a
So,
vicious.
exactly. But also about you as an actor, your filmography is also, would I say, you are a responsible actor who takes on very, the kind of stuff that you've done is not riffraff. Not riffraff, I'm not trying to put down others.
Yeah.
But वो नहीं है कि मजे के लिए मैं कर रही हूँ, मेरे को, कभी-कभी मैं like, it's always carried some weight, whether it was from your debut. But do you feel that sometimes it does not work for you in the best of it, because you're so choosy in particular about what you do?
Pooja, I'm actually not as choosy about what I do as what I am about what I don't want to do. So it's just that, and sometimes you're just not spoiled for choice, because people can't imagine you in different things. So now that is not up to me to change overnight. Those are perceptions, those are risks people have to take. Dasvi happened. And that was such an out of the box character for me. Even I couldn't have imagined myself playing a part like that. So stuff happens, when people start to imagine you and they give you a platform, then I feel like you also get kind of stretched in different directions, and you get incentivized to challenge yourself as an actor and as an artist. So I am not someone who's got a chip on the shoulder in any way about मैं ये नहीं करूँगी या मैं वो नहीं करूँगी, because I know that I have my own style, I have my own artistic language. I can bring me to everything that I'm given to play. I just have to be able to love it. My thing is that I really pour a lot into everything I do. That is my nature. सरसरे तौर पे I can't do anything कि हाँ चलो यार टाइम पास है, ठीक है 30 दिन निकाल लेंगे, कैसे भी हो जाएगा. So I get very invested, very attached. I'm an emotional person. My decisions are emotional. So I really have to love what I'm taking up. And to the best of my ability, given everything, I try to do justice to whatever comes my way. How it lands, what happens with it, that is a different beast altogether. We can't control that. But I'm open to all kinds of things. Truly, I am. I know that I'm in this for the long haul. I'm going to be around for a while. I don't want to burn out. I don't want to get fed up. I don't want to feel bored, or I don't want to feel like I'm sick of seeing myself doing this. And every time I speak, I don't want to sound the same way. So for me, that's most important. Boredom is death. So
that for anyone is, but also the fact, I personally feel you are an underrated talent, which a lot of other people feel. So they need to tap in a lot more. Glad you got Dasvi. I think with वो lunchbox के साथ एक perception बन गया था, ये बहुत serious heroine है, but then you did an airlift again. They said ऐसे kind of roles, but I just feel with Dasvi you were like, hey guys, wake up. So, but also, do you feel that kind of OTT has given that opportunity and that choice where you feel you're no longer facing a roadblock in terms of choice and,
Damn right, people are writing such interesting parts because people know that, the same boring stuff will not work. They're thinking out of the box because people's attention spans are so little. They're not, dependent on only those 3 films or 4 films that might release on a Friday. There is that plus 100 other things that release every week, not just in India, but worldwide. So everyone's got to put their A game on. Otherwise, it just won't work. So had I been a working actor that I am today 10 years ago, and let's say the OTT world was alive then, who knows what the possibilities of work would have been at that time. So I feel like it's a fabulous time, and only great things will come out of this abundance.
Awesome. But what do you personally feel has been your biggest struggle, and which you feel that you continue face, a roadblock that you face, a struggle that you feel like?
A struggle? I feel like sometimes it's hard to break perceptions. Like I feel like there is a lot in me that I want to explore as an artist, as an actor, that is absolutely untapped currently. It's absolutely untapped. So I want to be able to deep dive into all those nooks and corners and all those possibilities. It's a perception-led business. Sometimes you just get perceived a certain way, and then the same kind of paths keep coming to you. It's just different parts on the same spectrum. So I just feel like, it again takes one stroke of genius, or somebody who's got the imagination to reimagine things and make something else out of a perception. And I know that I'm not alone in this. I know that I'm not the first, won't be the last. There are perceptions that have made careers, and then after that everything is reimagined, and then something new comes along, and then there's a second lease of life about what you want to do. So
absolutely. But also you feel that things have changed in the industry, because firstly it was a lot depends on luck, I know that, but it was all about connections. But do you feel now the door is a lot more is ajar for the rest to?
100%. I mean, we've seen some of the best performances coming out in OTT platforms, and we've seen some people who've become household names who otherwise would just be like character names in a movie. People now know them by their names, and I think that's the change OTT has brought about.
वैसा क्या है, ऐसा झूठ है बॉलीवुड का जो आप when you became an actor you were like, my god, I can't wrap my head around this. The proverbial fudgy outsider came into this business.
The chaos on a set. The chaos on a set. I promise you, जब मैंने पहली बार सेट देखा था 2004 में, तेरा मेरा प्यार की वीडियोस मैंने देखा, मैंने कहा ये क्या जगह है, ये तो बैक साइड होगा ना, जो फ्रंट साइड किधर है? मुझे लगा मैं किसी जगह के गोडाउन में हूँ, तो मुझे समझ ही नहीं आ रहा था। मैं ढूंढ रही हूँ, मैंने कहा ये सेट कहाँ है, सेट क्या होता है? तो मैंने देखा वहां पे मॉनिटर्स पड़े हुए हैं, तारे हैं, मिट्टी है, ड्रम्स पड़े हुए थे, वाटर स्प्रिंकलर्स, पता नहीं क्या क्या चीजें थी, मुझे कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा था. I was just waiting to see what I see in the TV, what I used to see in that. So I was just still waiting to see that. And मैं मतलब वो cutters और lights और stands और लोग भाग रहे हैं, चिल्ला रहे हैं, पता नहीं जल्दी है सबको. And I was like, why is everyone so frantic? So all my dreams came crashing that day. I was like, oh, this is why it's so hard to work here.
I tip my hat to you for surviving this frantic place, but do you still feel that for many who look at you, because managed to do Indian as well as Hollywood, do you still feel a lot depends on having the right connect and having that access and having certain people on your speed dial?
Well, does it help? Sure, it can, I'm sure. But is it a long-term formula for success? Absolutely not. Because, at the end of the day, you are as good as the work you do here. And we as an audience, I have never wanted to go for somebody's movie because they are connected to someone or they're somebody's son or daughter. For me, if I love them for their work. and I want to see that. So I feel like eventually it all evens out. The law of averages settles in,
Absolutely.
So yeah, nobody's an exception to that.
And I mean, international homeland. I mean, you were truly now that everybody seems to be signing up and doing a show. What next, man? What next on the agenda?
Well, I've done like a guest appearance in Foundation season 2. I'm looking forward to that show, and I love science fiction a lot. Formally, I can't really speak about what I'm doing in the West right now. Section 84, I'm working on right now. We're currently shooting that with Mr. Bachchan, so that's a bucket list thing.
Junior B to senior B.
Indeed, what fun! What fun!
What was it like facing the camera? Did you have like butterflies?
I have so many things to tell you about that, but we shall speak about it when the time's right. I have so much to talk about it, but we're still a while away from that. We're still shooting, and I keep making notes so I don't forget, because this is one for the memory vault. It's just so fun. It's such a delicious experience. And then there is obviously Happy Teachers Day that's going to come out, and a couple of other things that I can't yet talk about, which I did last year. So it's a good time. It's fun, and hopefully the first running complaint I get that, oh, we don't see you enough. I hope that that changes this year.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you. Jate also with, I was talking international. Do you think that diversity and inclusivity is now really a thing that is happening?
Amazing. The word used is cross-pollination. I think it's great. Everybody's working everywhere. Everybody's accessible everywhere. And I feel like even as producers and makers abroad, they are interested in tapping into the fan base of an Indian actor, knowing what a strong fan base, an actor coming out of India has. And I think that, it was only a matter of time before the world woke up to it. It's fabulous. It's amazing. And the more the merrier, yeah,
Absolutely. And I'm looking forward to your works. And finally, we'll stop complaining about you not seeing you enough, but you are doing enough. But now we'll get to see more of you. Thank you so much. All the very best.
Thanks, Puja. Great chatting as always.
Likewise. Bye.
If you've liked this interview, please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram.